etc. on. What I could have done better is a lot of things. 100%.
Punches where, you know, like the first few rounds, he throws very few punches.
Yeah, he's just measuring. He's a computer, man.
Yep.
He's just getting the data on you, faking you, taking pictures of everything you're doing. Then
Criticize you for going 6 rounds with Jake Paul. How do you feel about that?
I deserve it.
Why? Come on.
Because, like, we're elite fighters.
Joe Rogan appeared genuinely shocked when Anthony Joshua reportedly exposed what actually happens behind closed doors in a Jake Paul fight agreement. What fans often believe is just a fun crossover boxing event reportedly turns into a highly structured and tightly managed business arrangement, as Joshua allegedly explained the fine print, limitations, and behind-the-scenes advantages written into these contracts. Rogan's reaction made it clear this went far beyond punches in the ring. This wasn't simply about fighting ability. It revolved around influence, safeguards, and controlling the story. After hearing what Joshua supposedly revealed, it starts to make sense why many established fighters have discreetly declined the chance to face Jake Paul. The fight, officially promoted as Judgment Day.
Yeah. And you hear him saying everything he says. Bearing in mind the journey you've been on, everything you've done, do you just think this guy's deluded?
Nah. Look, an amateur coming into the game with no experience, he's taking on some good names. They may be old, they may be from different combats in terms of MMA and so on, but he's got in the ring at a decent level, fought Tommy Fury and so on, so he believes in himself. I take it seriously, I respect it.
Yeah, but their levels, come on AJ.
Yeah, there are, but it's all about on the night. The levels that I carried last year and the year before and the year after that will not win me this fight. What will win me this fight is performing on the night, and I have to respect my opponent. If I underestimate him, I give him a chance.
Was scheduled for 8 3-minute rounds in the heavyweight division, with Joshua stepping in as the obvious favorite due to his world-class background and physical edge. Joshua stood at 6 feet 6 inches and weighed approximately 243 pounds, while Paul came in around 116 pounds. Following a cautious start with both fighters feeling each other out, Joshua gradually asserted his dominance. In the 5th round, he dropped Paul several times before sealing the outcome with a brutal knockout in the 6th round. At 131, a powerful right hand sent Paul crashing to the canvas.
Anthony Joshua. Paul was sturdy for the first couple of rounds, but as the fight went on, the more experienced Joshua began to take control. After continuously connecting in the 5th round, it was only a matter of time before it was over. In the 6th, Joshua went on to knock out Paul with a big right hand. Joshua improved his career record to 29-4 now. Paul loses for the 2nd time in his career to go along with,
prompting the referee to immediately wave off the contest. Jake Paul's strategy against Anthony Joshua focused heavily on speed, movement, and staying away from Joshua's devastating power for as long as possible. Before the fight, Paul openly explained that his game plan relied on footwork and agility, circling constantly, maintaining range, and forcing Joshua to chase him around the ring. The goal was to frustrate the former heavyweight champion and survive the full 8 rounds. Paul and his team emphasized avoiding a single clean power shot and relying on conditioning and angles to go the distance. The approach was straightforward: stay mobile, make Joshua miss, and avoid trading with a bigger, more seasoned puncher.
Saw the game plan from both guys from round 1. Jake was very mobile. I mean, he had the happy feet going. He was circling around the outside of the ring. He was not looking to engage in elongated combinations. He was not looking to stand in the center of the ring with AJ, and people are going to say Jake ran from AJ, and you're right. Because guess why? He absolutely had to. Again, we talked about this in the build-up to the fight. He had to be mobile. He had to be on his bike. So yes, you're justified in saying Jake ran from him because he had to. He had to. And anybody that convinced themselves that Jake was going to walk to the center of the ring, stand in the phone booth with AJ, and trade punches until someone laid flat, you were lying to yourself, or you convinced yourself of something you saw in the promo. This was always going to be the way the fight went. I wasn't surprised at all that this is the way that Jake started and pretty much fought the entire time. I was a bit surprised that AJ didn't assert himself earlier. Now, again, it is very hard to hurt someone that doesn't want to engage in a continuous fight. Round 1, very much a feeling out process for AJ. Didn't really look like he did much, but Jake didn't either. There was one right hand that AJ landed in the first round that shook Jake up. That's the danger that was coming for Jake the entirety of the fight. The second and third rounds were pretty much the same, a bit of a mixed bag in terms of Jake tried to get on his jab more. He did land some jabs that snapped the head back of AJ and landed some right hands, but this was all calculated risk for AJ as well, because he knew as long as he turned that faucet on and let the water run and let it fill up the sink and never turned the faucet off, that eventually he would drown Jake, right? So every round it was pressure, front foot, front foot, front foot, and AJ strategically breaking down Jake's gas tank. I will say I'm pretty let down by the fact that AJ didn't cut the ring. I was shocked that he didn't go to the body more. I was shocked that he didn't set up his punches more, didn't get his head off the center line more. It was not a great performance from AJ, but at the same time, AJ had just come off a loss. AJ had just come off surgery. I'm not making excuses, but it was.
Legendary announcer Michael Buffer shared his perspective on the influence Jake and Logan Paul have had on today's boxing scene. He pointed out that the brothers have injected new life into the sport by drawing in younger fans who may not have previously followed boxing. Their ability to craft compelling narratives, build hype, and generate massive attention has undeniably widened boxing's audience. Buffer admitted that while skepticism around crossover bouts still exists, the impact of the Paul brothers can't simply be ignored. By pulling in fresh viewers and boosting mainstream visibility, they've helped expand fan interest and media exposure.
Jake and Logan, first of all, are fantastic athletes. You know, what Logan does with the WWE and what Jake does with boxing, he knocks people out and everything. And they both have massive fan bases. And for me, it's great to see people get young people that follow them that didn't have they don't remember Ali or Joe Frazier or whatever. It's not in their wheelhouse. So it's great to see them developing fight fans and a big fight atmosphere. So it's very exciting.
These two stood face to face, and the comment section on the internet was going crazy. They were call the ambulance now, basically. Anthony Joshua looks dangerous standing next to him.
Anthony Joshua is, at this time, and has been for years, the biggest puncher in boxing. He's a devastating puncher. So I got to give Jake a lot of credit for wanting to take this fight.
Yeah, it's not. A lot of people saying it's not smart. If he somehow was able to surprise the world, what does this do for him?
The word would be surprised if he shocked the world. But that's exactly why you got to give him credit. He wants to do it. He trains hard, he works hard, and he has a lot of faith in himself. So we'll see what happens.
Technically, though, what's the biggest concern for you? What's the biggest tip you could give Jake, knowing that you've watched Anthony so many times dominate?
After the bout, Anthony Joshua gave a candid assessment of his performance. Despite securing a 6th-round knockout, he admitted he wasn't fully satisfied and felt he could have delivered a stronger showing. Joshua explained that he struggled early on to land clean punches and didn't trap Jake Paul as quickly as expected. He described the result as a victory, but not a complete success, stressing that he still has room to improve and higher standards for himself.
What I could have done better is a lot of things, 100%. In the fight game, you've seen the amazing fighters that have graced us over the last 100 years, and the expectations that we put on ourselves are immense, but I tried my best. Jake done well while it lasted, but if you remember what I said in the interview with Cameron is, fighting's not just physical, it's psychological. And when you understand the psychological warfare, I did say to you is that, Jake, what's gonna happen? I'm gonna see a time when I'm gonna take your soul and you're either gonna give up or you're gonna get knocked out. And unless you have that instinct, you just will never be a good fighter. So I wish that
Promoter Eddie Hearn also commented after the fight, offering measured praise for Jake Paul while maintaining realism about the outcome. Hearn acknowledged Paul's toughness, but made it clear the result was never truly in question. He noted that few believed Paul would last long against someone of Joshua's level, and reaching the 6th round was more a testament to his resilience than refined boxing skill. Hearn suggested the fight clearly showed the difference between crossover entertainers and elite professionals, reinforcing that Joshua's experience and power ultimately controlled the matchup. Meanwhile, Ryan Garcia shared his thoughts on social media with a sharp and attention-grabbing response. While giving credit to Paul's effort, Garcia drew a comparison involving Gervonta Davis. He tweeted that Davis would have handled Paul even worse, implying an even faster or more punishing finish. Many analysts echoed Garcia's sentiment, agreeing that the bout didn't represent top-tier boxing. Even after the final bell, debate around the matchup continues, with critics arguing that the Anthony Joshua vs. Jake Paul fight should never have been made in the first place.